This is a Louie Tee Network exclusive.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie Tee? Welcome, you are in the lab room. Of course, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me on the 2016 NFL Draft Prospects 101 series. Your guide to some of the biggest and hottest names. The 2016 NFL Draft, we're talking defensive linemen, probably the deepest position in all of the 2016 NFL Draft. And this next guy, I watched him and I first laid eyes on him at the combine. And when I saw him at the combine, I'm like, man, this guy is a big athletic dude. You know, 6'4", 323 pounds. And I'm saying to myself, the way he's moving, I can't wait to put on the tape. And when I put on the tape, I saw a guy that showed a lot of the things I saw at the combine, but I left saying, you can do more, you can do better. And so if you draft this guy, you're drafting him because you feel like you can turn him into Muhammad Wilkerson. That's what I see him as. And I'm gonna break him down right now. I'm talking about La Tech's defensive tackle, Vernon Butler. Let's talk about Vernon Butler and what he brings to the table. We'll start with his pros. 6'4", 323 pounds. Boom, just like that. That's the kind of size you're looking for on the interior of your defensive line. And the next pro is a nicely proportioned frame. I look at him and I see Muhammad Wilkerson all day long. As a matter of fact, the eerie part about him and Muhammad Wilkerson, not only are they similar in size, but they wore the same number in college, number 9, which is rare for a defensive tackle. He's number 9 and he looks just like Muhammad Wilkerson. If you didn't know that that wasn't Muhammad Wilkerson, you wouldn't really be able to tell because his body is proportioned very evenly up and down. I really like, he's got a frame that's really lean for a 323 pound lineman. So that, and that speaks to the athleticism that you get out of Vernon Butler. The reason why he moves the way that he does is because of how well his frame is proportioned. So a lot to like here just looking at him from the eyeball test. Big athletic defensive lineman. And I've already talked about that. Saw it at the combine, I saw it on tape. You can't argue this man's athleticism. He's athletic, and you see it when you put the tape on and you watch him out there running around. But with that athleticism, you expect more plays than you get from him. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Good quickness though, man. Good quickness off the snap, and that's a part of the reason why he wins and gets into the backfield and can be disruptive at times. Speaking of which, the next pro, disruptor on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage a lot of times, and whether it's him bull rushing a guy, winning with quickness off the snap, or just using his athleticism to get into the backfield, he's a guy that not necessarily going to make the play himself, but he'll blow a play up, be a disruptor, and allow a guy to make a play like his linebacker, who always seems to be roaming free. I think his name is like Thomason or something like that. He's always in the backfield. A big reason why is because Vernon Butler is tying up 1 or 2 blockers and being disruptive and blowing up a play. Fights well with his hands. He's a guy that'll sit there and karate chop and fight with you with his hands, but he does a really good job of that. And so I think that's another one of these things that if he fine-tunes that and finds a way to be a little bit more efficient with his hand fighting, he could be an even bigger nuisance up front at the next level. We'll get his hands up in the passing lane. I love this about him. A lot of times at La Tech, they would drop him into coverage and he'd actually be like a spy of sorts. Yeah, that's right, a 323 pound spy on the quarterback. Go figure, right? I mean, that's the kind of athlete that this guy is. And he'll drop back and he'll be watching the quarterback, and then he'll try to do like a mush rush where he's not really trying to get up the field, just kind of trying to contain the quarterback, keep him in the pocket. Next thing you know, boom, hands up, ball deflected. I love it. If I could get DeForest Buckler to come with that same mindset of getting your hands up because you're not getting there, he would be an animal. And so I love that about Vernon Butler, really realizing the situation. I'm not getting to the quarterback. He's about to throw the football. Let me get my hands up and see if I can't affect this play. Will collapse the pocket. And this is one of those dudes, big, strong, physical guy that will, if he has the right leverage and technique on a play, blow your guard up, blow your center up, walk him back into the quarterback's lap. I saw him do it on a number of occasions. I saw him do it against Florida State. I saw him do it against Rice. I saw him do it On a number of occasions, okay? Saw him do it against K-State. Every tape that I put on, he did it in that football game. He's one of those guys that will get in the backfield, and if he has good leverage on a play, he will walk a lineman straight back, put him on skates, got him skating right into the lap of the quarterback. Consistent motor. One thing I don't have to worry about with Vernon Butler is the motor. He's gonna hustle on every single play. He's looking to try to get involved. If the play is strung out all the way to the sideline, here comes number 9, hustling on the backside, and if you cut it back, guess who you're running into? Vernon Butler. So I don't worry about his motor. It runs hot. I love it. You get in, you start it up, and it's already ready to go. Put it in drive, and let's go, Vernon. Let's go make some plays. That's Vernon Butler in a nutshell. So you go to his times now. After talking about all of those things that he does well, there's some things that he definitely needs to work on. First things first, when you're 6'4", as a defensive lineman, you can't play high, and he does at times. And so when he plays high, he's ineffective. Linemen get up under his pads, they'll drive him back. And the thing that irks me with Vernon Butler, for as good as he is, as athletic as he is, and as strong as he is, he'll let an offensive lineman push him 2-3 yards out of a play. I mean, really get a good hold of him, get up under him, and drive him out of a play. I'm like, dude, you're too good. You're too good of an athlete. You're too strong. You're too physical for that to be happening on a consistent basis. And so he plays too high and he gives up his leverage. He is ineffective as a defensive lineman. He doesn't hold the point of attack. He's not playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He's ineffective. He's a non-factor when he plays high. He misses too many tackles. That's the next kind. Frustrating. Look, anytime I see an offensive lineman get in the backfield, or excuse me, a defensive lineman get in the backfield, and you got a chance to make a play. And for a defensive lineman, you don't get a lot of opportunities to make plays because you're getting double teamed, you're getting held, you're in the trenches. It's tough. So when you get a chance to get in the backfield and get a ball carrier on the ground, or you get a chance to break free and tackle a running back for a 1-yard gain, or you get free and you got a chance to get a quarterback on the ground, you can't miss. You can't miss. And he misses too often for me. I want to see this guy make plays. Don't just blow a play up. Make the play, okay? If you did all of the work, don't do all the work for somebody else to get the shine, okay? It's one thing when your job on that play is to just blow it up and let somebody else make the play. But it's a whole totally different issue when you yourself go out, beat the guy in front of you, bust up the running back, and now the quarterback is in plain view and you miss. Or you beat the guard, the tackle's too late to help double team, you split that, and you got a chance at the ball carrier, you get a hand on him, you can't reel him in, you let him go, he picks up 5 yards on the play. Don't be that guy. He was that guy too often on tape for me. I want to see him make some of those plays. Finally, he doesn't impact the game enough for a guy with his skill set and talents. Okay, when you talk about his athleticism, when you talk about his size, when you talk about his strength, he should be making plays all over the place. He's got the ability, to me, to be a guy that'll get you 5.5 to 7 sacks in any given season. He's the type of guy that should be getting anywhere in between 9.5 and 13 tackles for loss. He's got that kind of potential, to me. And he's a guy that should be right around 50 to 65 tackles, which is what he basically was at, but I thought he could have had even more tackles. To me, he's got that ability to make more plays, and he just doesn't. And that's alarming for me because when I see a talented guy and I don't see him impacting the game enough, I want to know why. Why aren't you maximizing your gifts? And so I'm hoping some team at the next level is able to get their hands on Vernon Butler and get him to maximize all the talents that he possesses, because this guy's uber talented. And I think he can come in and be a big time baller for somebody day one. If you get this guy in camp, he stays healthy, and you're able to coach him up properly, he could be Muhammad Wilkerson in 3 years. Seriously, he's that good. So I'm looking forward to Vernon Butler probably hearing his name in round 1. He's that talented, and he can play multiple positions. He's versatile enough to play a 5-tech, to play a 3-tech, and to even stick his hand in the dirt and play the 1. And so I think that type of versatility is going to make him a hot commodity in this draft, and would not shock me in the least if Vernon Butler heard his name called in day 1 of the 2016 NFL Draft. That's Vernon Butler and his Draft Prospects 101 breakdown. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all. here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything National Football League. I got more defensive linemen, man. Stop playing. Come on back. We're going to break them down. See you next time. There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie Tee, be sure to follow me on Twitter at In The Lab Room, or you can like the Facebook page at In The Lab Room. That's In The Lab Room on Facebook and at In The Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.